Hey guys, happy Monday. Great to see everybody. Today we've got a 30-minute live all around fitness after 30. So if you are interested in getting fit and you are past the age of 30, you don't even need to be the past the age of 30, then stay with me over the next 30 minutes where I'm going to be running through some tips and some tricks about getting fit. If this is the first time that you guys have seen me, my name is Ross. I'm based in London. I've been running these TikToks since the start of January. I run them on a Sunday, Monday, and a Sunday, Monday, and a Wednesday. If you guys do join this session late, then I do upload all of my videos to my YouTube so you can rewatch back this episode plus all of my previous fitness topic and episodes there as well. Guys, if you are finding the live useful, please like the live. Please feel free to engage and ask questions as we're running through. But today we're talking about fitness after 30, how to stay strong, how to lose fat, and how to feel better without destroying your body with extreme workouts. Fitness after 30 is not about training harder, it's about training smarter. So again, fitness after 30 is not about training harder, it's about training smarter. So what we're going to move into first is the biggest fitness mistakes after 30. And what I want to mainly cover here is most people struggle not because a lack of discipline, but because they have the wrong approach. So guys, if you are just joining, we're talking about fitness after 30. So if you're looking to get into shape after 30, I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks over the next sort of 25 minutes. I've just done a quick introduction. Now we're going to be talking about the biggest fitness mistakes after 30. If you've got any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to run through them as we're running through the session. But the biggest mistakes after 30 is most people struggle not because they lack discipline, it's because they have the wrong approach. The first mistake most people make if they're looking to get fit after 30 is they're training like they're 20. Most people try extreme workouts. They try and do a high intensity workout every day and they have no rest. The most important thing to remember is exercising regularly is fantastic. But if you are exercising with extreme workouts, if you're not giving your body the adequate rest and recovery, you've got to remember that you are only going to grow, build muscle, lose weight, or change your body through the proper rest, recovery, and nutrition. It's not about purely the workouts alone. You've got to remember, you can't train like you're 20, but after you turn 30, recovery slightly slows down, stress levels are higher, and your sleep may be worse. So this results in burnout or injury. Mistake number 2 with people who are looking to get fit when they're getting after 30. So I don't work out because it hurts. How can I gain muscle without feeling pain? So Luke, thank you very much for leaving a comment. So when you're talking about I don't work out because it hurts, what hurts when you work out? Is it the muscle that you're trying to train? Is it a sharp pain? Is it a lower back? What generally is hurting when you're trying to work out? My muscles. So it depends. So like, for example, if you are doing a bench press, for example, if your body is feeling worked or your chest or your arms are feeling worked when you're doing an exercise, there is 2 different types of pain. There is a stimulating pain, which can feel really engaging when you're doing the movement, which feels like sort of like a really tight squeeze, but it's not a sharp pain. If you are feeling a sharp pain, then that is different. I think potentially the pain that you're feeling is when your body potentially isn't conditioned, then that's when you are going to feel that burning pain. Yeah, so do you have to feel burning pain in my muscles to gain muscles? So look, ultimately, when it comes to building muscle, you have to challenge your body in order for your body to send the right signals in order to grow. So that means that you do have to push your body to those steps where you are essentially going through that period where you're struggling to push the bar up. Your body is feeling really, really sore. I mean, how old are you, Luke, at the moment? From your profile picture, you look like you're a teenager. So it'd be good to understand. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got that. Oh, okay. So you're 19, not 29. Okay. And how long have you been training for? How long have you been going to the gym, exercising regularly for? Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. So you've been going to the gym not even for a month. So it is going to be, it's a process. When I first started training, I was extremely skinny. I was underweight. I could even barely do a press up, a squat, and a pull up. So when we're talking about going to the gym or exercising for 2 weeks, you are literally at the beginning stage. You're a teenager, you're still growing. The best advice I can give you is you do need to work out hard enough in order to see the results. What if I eat the right foods but still can't put on muscle? So the one thing that I would say is, number one, you need to firstly identify how many calories that you're having each day. So that means that you need to go online to a calorie calculator. So that's a TDEE calculator. You can go onto Google, you'll fill out your name, your height, your current weight. You'll then get given a calorie maintenance level. If you want to build muscle, you then need to be in a slight surplus, 250 calories to 300 calories above above your calorie maintenance level. You then need to go onto MyFitnessPal and start scanning the foods that you're eating. You can even buy some scales online. They're really cheap, and start weighing out your food, because I guarantee you've only been training 2 weeks. You're more than likely eating a lot less than what you need to in order to put on muscle and size. So look, ultimately, Luke has asked, can I build muscle and lose fat? Realistically, you can put on lean muscle, but that means you're in a really, really small slight surplus in terms of your calories, and you're keeping your protein really, really high. That is super, super crucial if you want to build muscle, but you want to put on lean muscle without putting on extra body fat. So, Luke, you need to go online to a TDE calculator. You then need to work out your current current maintenance calories. Make sure you're in a slight surplus, 250 calories above that. Make sure that you're hitting your protein goal each day. So for your current body weight, you should be having 1 gram per pound of body weight. So whatever your weight is in pounds, have that in protein each day. So for me, for example, I'm 82 kilos. That is 180 pounds roughly. That is 180 grams of protein I need to have each day. So how do I make sure I'm progressively overloading and track it in case I forget? So the best thing that you can do is you can either track it on your iPhone or your phone, take a record of your current lifts, the weights that you're currently hitting at the moment. You need to be hitting an 8 to 12 rep range on your current exercises that you're doing, and do the same exercises for 8 to 12 weeks. If you do them for 8 to 12 weeks, this then enables you to track what are your weights every week during every session. And then what you can then do is see over a consistent period of time, are you getting stronger? There's loads of different ways that you can progressively overload. And it's not just by lifting heavier weight. You can hold the weight or bring the weight down slower, so you've got more time under tension. But I think in terms of your stage, you just need to get an element of consistency behind you in terms of get a few months down your belt, 3 to 6 months. So what happens if over time I don't get stronger and use the same weight? So I think if you are not getting stronger over a set period of time, you need to think about a few things. Are you pushing yourself during each of your workouts? Because I'm telling you right now, it's uncomfortable when you're trying to build muscle. If you're anything like me, I was a hard gainer. I was struggling to put on size. You have to go into the gym with the mindset that you're going to be working hard, and you have to be failing at that 9th or 10th rep. You need to be pushing your body through each of those exercises. Also as well, more importantly, you need to make sure that you are getting enough calories. This is why you need to go online to a calorie calculator and work out how many calories that you need to have each day to make sure that you're getting the right calories in order to grow. And make sure that you are having good sleep, hydrating yourself, all of the things in and around working out is really important in terms of seeing results. So in terms of, I don't currently take peptides at the moment. So in terms of the supplements I take, is I just take whey protein and creatine. That is it. Simple as that. So Luke, any other questions, please let me know. Guys, feel free to put your fitness related questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them as we're running through. Neve said, this is so random, but your voice really reminds me of Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. I've never seen Ted Lasso, but I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you very much for engaging. Thank you guys for liking the live as well. Thank you, Sarah, for liking the live. Really appreciate the feedback. Guys, any questions, please let me know. Ultimately, what I would say to you, Luke, is, especially at your stage, is most important thing that you can do is just focus on getting good nutrition, eating whole foods. You can get a good protein powder and you could potentially start taking creatine. But if I was at your stage, you just need to nail down the basics, which means you just need to go to the gym consistently. You need to be eating the right amount of food, and you need to be making sure that you are in the gym or you're exercising, not for a few weeks, but for like 3 to 6 months. It's time in terms of building muscle and gaining strength. This is a long game when it comes to going to the gym. And look, I have to be honest with you, eating healthy foods can be a little bit more on the expensive side, obviously, if to fast food. But the way that I look at it is you can buy good food at cheaper places. So you can always pre-make your food. You can meal prep. I go to Lidl personally. It's really cheap and they've got good quality food there. So for my main meal prep stuff that I eat in the week, mainly I get it from Lidl, and I mainly get my breakfast and smoothie stuff from there as well. So Brennan said, yeah, okay. I missed your question from last night, Brennan. So if you want to ask it again, feel free to ask. Yeah, Luke, I understand. Yeah, it's crazy how good genuinely healthy foods tend to be more expensive than heavily processed foods. Yeah, completely agree with that. Ultimately, you can make it a lot cheaper for you if you go to Lidl, if you go to Aldi, if you cook these foods in bulk. That is the best thing when it comes to eating healthy. For me, I always meal prep. It's so much cheaper just to get it done on Sundays, and then you aren't eating lunch out potentially when you're working or when you're on the go. because can get really, really expensive. But it's an element of being disciplined with just meal prepping. For me, I don't really like cooking. That's why I meal prep on Sundays, and that's why I get it done. So guys, any other questions, please let me know. What we're talking about at the moment is fitness after 30. Look, if I'm honest with you, when it comes to meal prep companies, look, personally, I always think it's best and it's cheaper to actually cook the food yourself. It actually doesn't really take that long. It only takes me like an hour to an hour and a half max in terms of meal prepping my foods. Obviously, you can go out and you can go to these companies that do meal prep foods for you, and then you can microwave them. But realistically, for me, I want to know what's in those meals. For you, Luke, you want to know how many calories that you're having each day. And I think as well, it's good for your education to go through that process of weighing your foods, knowing what's going inside of your body, how many calories that you're having each day. Because once you understand it in terms of how many calories that you need and you're eyeballing stuff, as you get more and more experienced, you can then maybe not start to weigh up your foods as religiously. But in the first few months, you need to understand how many calories roughly that you need to be having each day, especially to build muscle. So I hope that's helpful. Guys, any other questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. Any fitness related questions, please let me know. Thank you guys for liking the live. For anyone that's just joining late, we're talking about fitness after 30. We were just talking about some of the mistakes people make when they're getting into shape. So the first mistake was training like you're 20. The second mistake is too much cardio. So most people think fat loss equals endless cardio. They think running on the treadmill every day or running every day outside is going to help them. But cardio alone does not maintain muscle mass. Muscle is essential for your metabolism, for your strength, for injury prevention. I can't stress enough. Going to the gym is so beneficial. Lifting weights is the way to go. And mistake number 3 is ignoring strength training. So many people only focus on weight loss. But after 30, we naturally start losing muscle mass slowly. This is why it's super important to be making sure that you're having high protein and that you're lifting regularly at least a few days a week, a minimum of 2 to 3 days. So strength training helps maintain muscle, improve bone density, and it supports your metabolism there as well. So guys, any questions before I move on to the next topic? Guys, don't be shy. Please ask away your fitness related questions. Luke was happy just to jump in there and ask some questions. I'm more than happy to answer them before I move on to the next topic. The next pillar that I'm going to be moving into is the 3 pillars of fitness after 30. So long-term fitness depends on 3 fundamentals. Number 1, you guessed it, is strength training. This matters more after 30 because it protects your joints, improves posture, it increases your metabolism, and it maintains muscle. Again, as a bare minimum, you should be in the gym for 3 sessions a week, 45 minutes to an hour. That is it. Anything longer is not necessary. And the most important thing that I want you guys to focus on is focus on compound movements because they train multiple muscles at once. Especially when you get over 30, your time is very limited. So you want to get the best out of your session in the smallest amount of time. And that's why compound movements are the way to go. Examples of compound movements: squats, deadlifts, push-ups, rows, lunges, overhead press. Strength training doesn't mean that you need to be a bodybuilder. It simply means that you need to be challenging your muscles. again, strength training is the way to go. The second pillar, when we're talking about getting fit after 30, is recovery. Again, this is massively overlooked when it comes to people getting fit or building muscle or getting into shape. Recovery becomes so much more important as you get older. Sleep. Again, a lot of people overlook sleep. 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Sleep is where recovery happens. Lack of sleep leads to poor fat loss, lower energy, slower recovery. Again, 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. So guys, if you are just joining, we're talking about getting fit after 30. So guys, any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer them as we run through. So the next thing is really important in terms of the pillar is mobility. So mobility helps prevent injuries. You've got stretching, yoga, foam rolling, mobility drills. You've got even 10 minutes a day of being consistent helps. So really, really important. Also, another critical thing are rest days. Rest days are not laziness. Super, super important. You need to make sure that you're taking your rest days. They allow your body to repair muscle, adapt to training, and they prevent overtraining. And lastly, the third pillar, when it comes to getting into shape or getting fit after 30, is nutrition. Nutrition is so much more important than your workouts. You can do all of the workouts that you want, but ultimately, if you haven't got your nutrition dialed in, you won't see the results that you want. You've probably heard before that you can't outtrain a bad diet. That is one of the most important critical things to take away. Remember that your protein intake supports muscle repair, and it's really important to make sure that you're getting a good source of protein through eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, beans. As a simple rule, aim for a good source of protein with each meal. So guys, any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. If you guys have just joined in, we are running through getting fit after 30. If you have joined this a little bit late, I do upload all of my episodes to my YouTube channel so you guys can catch them there. Please like the live, guys, if you are finding it useful. Really appreciate the engagement and the feedback. What we're going to be talking about next is an example weekly workout plan that you can follow. I'm conscious I've got 5 minutes left of this live, but what I want you guys to do is if you are looking for an example weekly workout plan, you can head over to my main page where you can download a free 3-day full body split. And that is going to have in there the exercises that you need to do. It's going to give you structure. And especially with summer just around the corner, this is going to get you fit all in time for summer. So you can download it today. Head over to my main page. Click my link in bio. You can then download it in a PDF format and start training today. So what we're going to be talking about next is some of the common questions when it comes to fat loss. So we're going to be talking about, firstly, how do I lose belly fat? So in terms of losing belly fat, this is ultimately going to come down to calories. You need to control how many calories that you're having each day. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Just like I was saying to Luke earlier on, you need to go online to a TDE calculator and you need to go into a calorie deficit. 250 calories to 500 calories under your maintenance level in order to lose belly fat. Belly fat, unfortunately, it's not a spot reduction. You can't say, I don't like my arms, I want to lose fat off my arms. When you lose body fat, you lose it from everywhere. But when it comes to losing belly fat, it's all about being in a calorie deficit, doing your workouts, and being patient and being consistent. So can you build muscle after the age of 30? Yes, of course you can. The most important thing if you want to build muscle is make sure that you're hitting your calories every day, make sure that you're in a slight surplus, and making sure that you are keeping your protein intake high. How often should you train? You should be training a minimum of 3 days a week, 45 minutes to an hour. Is walking enough exercise? I think walking is fantastic if you are just getting started into the gym or after a long break. You should be doing 10,000 steps a day, but ultimately you should be going and working towards going to the gym at least 3 days a week and doing gym sessions and lifting weights. They're going to be so good for your body. And do you need supplements? Not necessarily. The only good thing about having supplements is with whey protein, it's easier to hit your protein goal. And with creatine, it's the most researched supplement in the fitness industry. Not only is it going to help with building muscle or even with your cardio exercises in the gym, but it's got some amazing cognitive benefits as well. So guys, I want to thank you guys in terms of spending your Monday evening with me running through this live. Just as some key takeaways, fitness after 30 requires a smarter approach. Strength training is essential. Recovery and sleep matters more now. Nutrition supports everything, and consistency beats extreme workouts. So guys, usually my next live is going to be on Wednesday. However, as I'm got a personal commitment on Wednesday, my next live is going to be tomorrow at 7. Have a lovely evening, guys. Thank you again for joining the session. If you have joined this session late, I do upload all of my TikTok lives to my YouTube. Check it out. Have a lovely evening, guys, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.